Richard?
Sophie, where are you? Sophie! Sophie, stop playing around. Sophie!
Richard!
Keith! David! Do you know where Sophie is?
She's gone?
I just looked away for a second and she wasn't there. I can't find her anywhere. He might have kidnapped her.
Calm down. Start from the top.
Telling such a thoughtful papa just to calm down won't do any good, you know.
Where?
You! Did you take my daughter? Where's Sophie?
Ah, Richard. So scared your daughter will leave this world as soon as you're not looking. Just like your wife was robbed from you by a robber's gun.
Whoa!
Don't listen to him, Richard.
Your wife was such a cheerful and lively lady, Richard. But the truth is, she was an unbelievable idiot, leaving herself in the care of a useless man like you. But it must have been a happy death. Just one bang, and she was gone. And what a beloved daughter she left behind. You fawn over her so. A real memento of your dear wife, yes. But humans do tend to die so easily, as I'm sure you're well aware.
Stop it!
Calm down, Richard. Don't listen to a word he says.
Oh, poor Richard. Alas, the Grundlers are down to just one Grundler. But don't you cry. You'll be the Grundlers again soon. In hell.
Don't you dare insult my family! What did you do with Sophie? Give her back this instant. If you even lay a finger on her, you monster!
Richard, settle down.
Well, I guess I'd better go. Cute little Sophie is waiting for me.
Let's head back to Lance and Shirley.
Why did it have to be like this? On our first vacation in ages. Wonder if Helena's okay.
Oh, it's Sophie. Is something the matter?
Why did you marry Mr. Keith, Helena?
Why do you ask that?
Lately, I felt like my heart doesn't ever beat fast anymore. I can think people are great and all, but that's it. I can't get excited about them like I used to. It's like I forgot how to love. David and Shirley get along really well, so I'm jealous. And I don't want to be by myself forever. So I'd like to know why you and Mr. Keith decided to get together, Helena.
You know, love is like a jewel. It's buried deep in a person's heart. And one day, you just dig it up. Feelings like love and sympathy can create all different kinds of jewels. So jealousy, anger, and pride can shatter them too. Have you ever found such a jewel?
Yeah, but I got rejected.
Don't worry, you'll find it again. I hope you can make a wonderful jewel someday.
So what's your jewel like, Helena?
Mine is already complete. I don't want to meddle with it anymore. I just want to keep it deep in my heart. It's so windy. Your hair's a mess, young lady. We should get back inside.
No. No. Ugh, something smells funny in here. Papa.
Sophie! Sophie. Sophie, please.
Sophie, get up. Sophie. Sophie!
This can't be real, right?
Let's go see Richard. We can't just leave her here.
Thank you for finding my daughter.
Tell me where you're going.
I'll kill him. He killed my daughter.
Wait,
Just let me go! Keith, you're a detective. You've seen parents whose children were killed, haven't you? And haven't they said the same, that they want to kill the one who killed their children? Revenge is my duty as her father!
David. Bring me a curtain and a towel. I'm sorry. Forgive me, Richard. Lance, checking on him from time to time.
Why'd you tie him up?
I checked, and there's no razors or scissors, but there are mirrors and windows. Make sure they don't get broken. And don't take out the gag. He might chew off his tongue.
Isn't there any other way?
Tell me if you've got a better idea.
Piece of shit.
Where are you going?
Just going to stay by the guy's side. You not gonna allow that either?
David, you stay here. I don't want you jabbing me in the back, too.
I wouldn't do that. I know you didn't want to do it this way. I feel so bad for Richard, but there's not much else we can do. What can you even do? I'm coming too. We have to find Helena, and quick.
Do as you like.
David.
Is he behind there?
Don't mind him. Let's go.
Your mother's crying down in hell, you know. Can't you hear your mother's pitiful wails? Why did my dear Davy leave me alone? I don't want to be alone. Please don't leave me alone. Davy, oh Davy.
Calm down. Don't listen to him.
David, doesn't it hurt leaving your mother all by herself? A real thoughtful son. He'd go to be by her side right away. Or do you feel relieved? To hell with that weak woman who always clung to you.
Let go. I won't let him talk like that.
Settle down. Don't open that door.
Let go!
You stupid brat! You don't listen to a word, do you? Never listens, never learns. Must have put your old man through a lot of trouble.
What's that?
I said your father must have had it real hard with you. Jumping into danger alone, following when I tell you to stay. If that's not being a brat, I don't know what is.
Say that one more time.
So it's not just your eyes that are busted, but your ears too? Or is it your head to blame? Getting riled up over every little thing. Think punching me will calm you down? Then go ahead.
Let's go.
Hey there, David. What are you looking up at? Look down below.
David!
Ah, I finally got you snared. That detective was a bit too perceptive earlier. Killing you would put me at a big advantage. A critical hit to the detective. Oh, this is getting good.
Gas?
Exactly. This may sting a bit, David, but not for long. Now hurry, Batman. Robin's gonna be a canary.
Stand up, David. What are you doing? Hurry. You can do this. Just walk. Once you're out of here, you'll be fine. Hey, come on, walk. David! David, open up. David! 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 I want an enemy.
You've got those all over the place. Ain't the guy who just shot you in the head an enemy? Everyone you ever had to shoot was one, too.
They're all fakes. They're all smiling. I want an enemy. One that if I can kill them, and put an end to all these stupid incidents.
Well, there is one of those. In here. Aim a shot in there, and you could kill him. Of course, it'd be a victory for you, but it'd be a loss, too. So you just gotta put up with all these small-minded guys instead. We're almost at the hospital. Hope it's not too crowded.
It's not you. It's not you. It's not you. Who are you? Why are you smiling?
Keith, where is he? Where is he?
He's dead.
Why?
He protected me. I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. I tried to tell him that he should put his own safety first.
Shirley, don't hold back. You can cry if you need to.
Would it bring him back if I did?
If you don't cry now, you might never cry or laugh again. Like me. Bearing here? Yes, that's right. I'll be there.
Mr. Baring, sorry to have called you. Your wife said she couldn't look, but we need you to confirm.
It's my son.
Are you sure?
He's wearing the clothes from this morning. My wife sewed his name on then. Todd Baring. Check behind the neck.
You have my deepest condolences. Sign here. We'll send you a pamphlet for a mortician. Refer to it if you wish. Thank you. There's a nurse waiting outside. Tell them if you need any help. Now, please excuse me.
Helen. It's me.
Hey, Keith, you off loitering somewhere? You gotta hurry. The suspect's on the move. Head for Wellington Street. Got it?
Don't go. Stay with me.
Oh dear. Now I've done it. I thought I'd get the drop on you, but you're always going off somewhere or another, so I couldn't keep up. What an awful curtain closer. But hey, that's how it goes. I've done a lot of harm murdering, and you've done a lot of harm protecting. Life doesn't always go the way you want it, don't you know? Detective, can I ask a question? Who took away the stairs?
Keith! Keith! Helena! Where'd they get to? Those guys okay?
Yeah, that's right. I've heard the situation. I'm talking with him now. Hey, hold on. Can you just give me some more time? What? Tell him to go do it himself. Don't be stupid. Sure, he's a detective, but he's a victim here. If you want to hear it straight from him, you tell him that yourself. Why'd it have to be her? I can't just say these things happen, can I? It's always on my mind, you know. Guys like us live all bold, but good people keep dying right in front of us. And there's nothing we can do about it. To hell with this. With all of this. Don't hold it in, Keith. You can cry now.
I didn't cry when my son died.
Keith.
Show yourself.
Boy, that was awful. But hey, guess it worked out okay in the end. Now I'm able to meet you again. You've got a gloomy look there, Detective. Was killing me not enough? Worried about your wife, maybe? Don't worry. She's doing just fine on the other side. With your son, too.
Give it back.
Give what back?
My wife. My son. Give back my family!
It wasn't me.
It was you!
Detective, so you can't even cry normal tears, huh? Give them back? But didn't you just throw it all away? You always focused on your enemy, the one you knew was lurking somewhere. Didn't you notice the ones clinging to your feet? I'm sure you did, but you pretended you didn't, for the sake of your petty, miserable pride. You just pushed them away. I just picked them up. This was how it would always go down, sooner or later. All along, you never even knew. I guess I'll tell you. I am the Boogie. The Boogie in your head.
Ugh.
Keith, let's rest a little. If you don't take a break, you're going to...
Shut up. This isn't the time.
I'm tired, okay? Let me rest. Or are you gonna drag around an exhausted citizen, detective?
Lend me your lighter. You've got one smoke to rest.
The heck is that guy anyway? How does he know about my mom? And Shirley's past? It's really disturbing.
David, did you celebrate your birthday with Shirley last month? Or was it with Paul and Marion?
Oh, I scheduled a meal with Shirley, then celebrated with Paul and Marion the other... Huh. Did I ever tell you my friends' names?
Sorry about your mother. Brain tumors are like a landmine. One misstep means trouble. But I guess they don't teach you how to dodge landmines in flight school, huh?
What?
Oh, and you want to toughen your stomach for anchovies and liver. I mean, unless you want younger girls thinking that's cute or whatever.
Hold on a second. What do you know about my mom, too? And my friends in school? I never told you any of that, right?
Keep this between us. But working as a detective for 15 years, you get to know stuff. Like what someone's done in the past, just by looking at their faces. Maybe that big-headed freak is the same way.
You're kidding, right?
You think I'm kidding? You're a real sucker. Take care you don't get swindled someday.
What's this about? What do you know all about me?
You were taken to the police after the incident with your mother. Remember the detective who questioned you?
I was pretty dazed at the time, so I don't really remember. But it wasn't you, was it?
Eric Simpson, my subordinate. It was only an attempted crime, so he was the only one to handle you. And you know, he's got a real messy desk. He lets case files and the like pile up so high they even topple over onto my desk. I saw some files on you among them. Your history, your family, that kind of info. And your mother's diagnosis. Oh, and the ones who verified your identity were your friends Paul and Marion Martin. I remember them well, especially because that Paul guy made a huge ruckus at the station. He was the one that ate too many chili dogs too, right?
Then the anchovies. Oh yeah, I mentioned that at dinner. But I didn't tell you I hated liver, did I?
I hate anchovies myself, and I hate liver. That's all.
Why did you make a guess for that one?
Because you're stupid enough that I thought it'd fool you.
If you know so much about me, why didn't you say so when we first met?
Because I was suspicious of you.
Huh? Me? Why?
A year and a half ago, you found a hanged body in an abandoned house in another state. The state police came to us trying to determine the guy's identity. That's when I read your testimony, and it was real sketchy.
Sketchy? Why?
I understand you were looking for the guy who formerly lived in your apartment, but how did you track him down without even knowing his name or what he looked like? Said you followed notes, but when you were asked to show him, you said you lost them. You said you shot a man in the house, but there was no gunpowder on the gun, no dropped cartridges. Most importantly, nobody to shoot. And then you just happened to find that former tenant's corpse. You gotta know that's suspicious.
But it's true. I was led there by the notes he wrote. Once I found the body and called the police, I realized they were gone. And I did shoot someone, but I'm not sure if it was a person.
As you testified, but I guess that doesn't matter so much now. I was wary of you because of what you could have done. I didn't want to leave Helena with a madman. If you did anything even a little weird, I was going to turn around and take my wife home.
Do you still distrust me?
When we first met on the boat, I intentionally told you that I was a detective. Somebody with something to hide would be alarmed. But then you just said cool, so I was a bit less wary. You might be crazy for all I know, but you haven't shown any sign of being dangerous. Listen, everyone's got bad stuff in their past. For somebody who shouldn't know it to dig it up and use it against you, that'd agitate and anger most people. He knows that well. He's showing off what he knows to upset all of you and control your actions. He's done it to you, to Richard, to Lance.
Lance, too?
He's an ex-journalist. Took photos of that job, too. When he published articles, he signed his photos with LK. He investigated the state police during a sexual assault and murder case 3 years back, but went too far. The victim's family and civil liberties group attacked him for invasion of privacy, and he was driven out of journalism.
How do you know about all that, Keith?
Doesn't matter.
Well, I understand that those are the guy's methods, but how does he know all of our pasts in the first place?
The boogeyman lives in your closet, right? So, he's always watching. Watching when you nearly killed your mother. Watching when you were snuggling with your wife in bed.
Don't make threats like that.
He's only human. The appearance, the weapon, the info, it's all just to scare us.
You're taking it pretty well, though.
It's all cheap tactics. It's not going to scare me.
Yep, that's our detective. Nothing scares him, even though his wife might be in danger. Still calm.
If I let myself be shaken, you'd all follow suit. I can't protect anyone if I get distracted. A detective doesn't just go fishing for corpses. I've got my lousy pride and my duty. Can't just watch while someone kills people with a grin on their face.
Even if you're forsaking someone important to you?
What are you trying to say?
There's a big gap between your ideal and what you really want. It's contradictory. Isn't that painful for you? I wanted to be a pilot, but thinking about it now, I think I was just too stubborn to see anything else.
So?
You'll understand someday.
Thinking of taking a nap here? Let's go.
Keith, those things you said before, were you trying to make me angry?
I don't intend on telling anyone your history, nor your family problems. Sorry if you're still pissed.
No, it's fine. I guess I am kind of a brat. Keith.
Hey, stop that, would you?
Huh?
Stop that thing. It's hurting my ears.
What does?
Your phone! I hate hearing phones ring. It's yours, right? Make it stop already!
Calm down.
Make it stop!
Calm down, please. Where are you hearing a phone ringing? There's no phone ringing. In fact, I think I lost my cell phone earlier. So please, calm down.
I hate it. I hate the sounds of phones.
Why?
Because it always brings bad news. Excuse me. Bearing here? Yes. I'll be there.
Mr. Baring, sorry to have called you. Your wife said she couldn't look, but we need you to confirm.
It's my son.
Are you sure?
He's wearing the clothes from this morning. My wife sewed his name on then. Todd Baring. Check behind the neck.
You have my deepest condolences. Sign here. We'll send you a pamphlet for a mortician. Refer to it if you wish. Thank you. There's a nurse waiting outside. Tell them if you need any help. Now, please excuse me.
Helen. It's me.
Hey, Keith, you off loitering somewhere? You gotta hurry. The suspect's on the move. Head for Wellington Street. Got it?
Don't go. Stay with me.
I'm scared of phones ringing. I feel like someone's going to tell me about a death in the family again. Ever since then, I haven't been able to answer calls.
Why'd your son die?
Run over by a truck. Driver died instantly. I couldn't blame anyone. I still have idiotic thoughts. Like if I hadn't answered that call, maybe nothing would have even changed. If I'd had been with him, maybe he'd still be alive and smiling. It's completely stupid. It changed nothing. What could I have done? Sorry for grabbing you. I was just confused. Let's go. Get back! Ugh. Lance? Shirley? Richard? Sophie?
No witnesses. Not a single one.
I only just heard about it, so I don't know any details. We're talking with the police there, but they seem confused.
Like hell I'm satisfied with confused. Do you know how many deaths we have here? Come on. I'm going to the scene myself. Get everything in order, Eric.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Dad? Where'd Mom go?
I don't know.
Did Mom die?
I don't know.
Are you lonely, Dad?
Yeah. But I've got you here, right? We'll sleep here until Mom comes back. You okay with it dark? Need a nightlight?
I'm fine, 'cause you're here, Dad.
Keith, where is he? Where is he?
He's dead.
You're lying!
I'm not.
Why?
He protected me.
That asshole.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. I tried to tell him that he should put his own safety first.
Shirley, don't hold back. You can cry if you need to.
Would it bring him back if I did?
If you don't cry now, you might never cry or laugh again. Like me.
I've been waiting, Detective. Oh dear, what a frightening face. A glare like that. Heck, it even gets me shaking. What got you so angry? Ah, David's death, perhaps? Well, there's no need to worry there, because I'm the one who killed him. It wasn't your fault. Yes, those are the magic words. Aren't they the ones you're always telling yourself every time you confront an innocent person's death? It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Well, fine by me, Detective. You're always biting off more than you can chew, eh? But now you should be asking yourself, is it because this guy's a murderer that I want to kill him so bad? Whoa there, I know you want to make this quick, but give me a sec. Indeed, once this game is over, you can leave safe and sound. With your wife, too. Yes, your wife is just fine. Well, maybe a little hurt, you know. If you catch me, this oh-so-fun game will finally end. But that's too boring, isn't it? Now, I'm going to kill you. You can put up any opposition you like. Nobody to force yourself to protect here, so do as you please. Kill me, find your wife, and go back home. That's a happy ending for you, right? precious box of yours. It smells rotten. There's a corpse in the box. You're just pretending you don't notice it.
Helena.
Keith? Keith, thank God. I'm so glad you're alive. Keith, you're hurt. Really hurt. Let me see. Are you okay?
This is nothing. But you.
It doesn't hurt at all. It's just... I was so scared. I thought you might vanish in front of me too.
I'm sorry. Sorry. I couldn't protect you.
Keith.
Let's continue our conversation. I'm gonna go with D, the bad one. Give me a week. I'll pack my bags.
No, I'll leave.
You should stay there. You don't want to let go of the house, do you? All the memories there. A week from now, let's do dinner. I want to talk about some last things. A lot of them.
Okay. I want that too.
No more beer for you?
Yeah, I get sleepy if I drink too much.
I'll take you home tonight, so you don't have to worry about that.
No, it's fine. I need to be capable of going home alone, even if I'm drunk. Hey, do you remember this? One time, after having a lot to drink, you came home with all this food. And when you got home, you started cooking all of a sudden. I just stared in disbelief while you cooked without a word. Then you said, "Okay, eat up, good night," and fell asleep.
Did that really happen?
Of course! I couldn't eat it all, so I gave it to you in the morning. And you said, "Oh, wow, luxurious. Did you make that in advance?" You didn't remember it at all. Gosh, I laughed so hard.
If you think that's funny, I shouldn't tell you what I got up to as a drunk student. You'd laugh yourself to death.
I haven't seen you laugh in forever.
Really?
If you can smile like that, then I don't need anything else.
Not even me being with you? Sorry. I'll stop. Don't cry, Helena. I want our last meeting to be a fun one.
Right. Keith, it's your phone. Keith.
Don't answer it.
we're unable to take your call at the moment. Please leave your name, number, and a brief message, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
Keith, what the hell are you thinking? How can you resign and not tell me about it? I want to talk, please. Call me back, ASAP. I'm waiting.
Keith? A message from Mr. Anderson? So he called the home phone too. Oh, you surprised me. Where were you?
Couldn't sleep, though I thought I'd have a drink. Sorry I woke you. Though there was a bottle of spirits in here. Where'd that go?
Oh, it's in those drawers. Keith?
Helena, you should stay in this house. Todd is here, and so am I. This house was like a box full of treasures to me. Treasures more valuable than life itself. I wanted to protect them at all costs. But I wasn't strong enough. I couldn't protect them. Not Todd, not you. And yet, even knowing my powerlessness, I couldn't let things go. If you're ever born again, I'll pray you never meet me.
I hope Keith and David are all right. It's been so long since they went out. Helena?
Thank goodness you're safe.
Where's Keith?
He went looking for you. Oh, but I'm so glad. Now we'll just wait for those two to return and...
Wait! Where are you going?
I have to go. That man's going to come. He'll catch me.
Don't go, Helena. Stay here with us. You'll be all right.
Yes, Helena, you should be safe with us. To go out simply isn't...
Helena! Lance!
What are you thinking? You know how dangerous it is to go it alone?
Let go. If I don't run, that man will catch me.
So then why not stay with us? You gotta calm down, lady.
No! If I'm caught, Keith will...
Keith? What about Keith? Hey, I don't know what you're saying. Hey, wait! Where'd she go?
Lance, what are you doing out here?
You guys. Hey, we saw Helena. She was okay.
Really?
Yeah, but I lost her. We gotta catch up. She should be nearby.
I'm taking you back to the room.
What? You going deaf? I told you your woman's close by.
And what's the plan if you're attacked? You can't run with that leg.
You... Don't you tell me what I can't do.
Lance, stop it.
You know, that cocky freak is scary. But in my eyes, you're scarier. I'm grateful that you saved me. But past that, you're shady as all get out. I never know what you're thinking. For all the lengths you go to save people, you never show any emotion. Never get upset. Not to mention knowing all about my past and trying to scare me with that. Just like that other guy. Tell me, why do you know about me?
I liked your articles about the Bronx incident. They were pretty on point. I was wondering when I could read more, but more never came, because the author had left journalism.
Huh?
When I heard your name, I had my suspicions, and it turned out I was right. One leading question, and I'd gotten you. I didn't mean to go fishing through your past. I just read your articles, and you talk just like your articles read. Really has that unpleasant attitude.
You should have told me that before. Why'd you have to scare me for?
I just wanted to tease you for picking fights with everyone. Want to take it to court? I'll win.
I really don't get you. Can't even tell if you're serious or a huge joker. But I can tell one thing. You're not just an unfeeling RoboCop. The whole never shaken thing is just an act, huh?
I shouldn't be inviting citizens to panic.
Stop saying crap about shoulds and shouldn'ts! Listen, I know. Deep down, you think we're just annoyances. Don't really care what happens to us. 'Cause ultimately, we're total strangers. And you're sketchy as hell for trying to hide that. Why you gotta hide that? If we're just in your way, say it. Don't go so far protecting us that you'll kill yourself off. If you want to save your woman right now, then do it.
Go back to the room, Lance.
I'll look for Helena too.
Did you forget what I just said? You're an annoyance. Go away.
Right you are.
You go back with Lance.
But Keith...
I'll be fine. Don't let him get hurt anymore. Go.
Wait, I'll take you there.
You stick with Keith.
What if something happens to you?
Shut up. It's fine, you babyface.
Babyface?
I've been waiting, Detective. I'm in a very bad mood right now, because I keep losing to you. Life really doesn't go the way you want it, huh? Even when you try to break up the monotonous days, it just doesn't work out. Sadly enough, even this fun game is almost over. Catch the boogeyman and you win. Happy end. But that's all right. I'll put up a good fight with you, Detective. Then we'll see what ending we're getting. It goes one way or the other. Victory or defeat.
Who are you?
I'm not anyone, Detective. Looks like you did things out of order, Detective. but still, not bad.
Helena?
David, where's Keith?
We came here together earlier. Then we split up. He must be that way. Let's go look for him.
Keith! Keith! Please, Keith, get up!
Don't move him, Helena. First we need to stop the bleeding.
Helena, are you there?
I am. It's okay, Keith. We'll stop the bleeding.
Can't see blood in my eyes. Helena, you there?
No. Please, Keith. Please. Hold on. Please. Don't leave me. You're the only one I can't lose.
Helena? Helena? What's wrong?
Huh?
You were crying. Have a bad dream?
I had an awful dream.
What was it like?
I don't want to remember it.
Helena, you need to wake up soon.
I want to sleep a little longer.
Wake up, Helena. The bad dreams are always the real ones.
Were you asleep, Helena?
I was dreaming.
What kind of dream?
A happy dream.
Good. I'm glad you can get some sleep. Do you think you can eat anything? I'm done cleaning the storeroom, so I thought I'd make you something.
I'm not hungry.
You need to eat, Helena. It's not healthy. I'll make you something simple.
Thanks for your help, Shirley, but it's fine. You don't have to do anything. I'm just glad you came.
If you can get to sleep, then maybe you should sleep. But isn't it chilly by the window? Come to the bedroom.
I want to be here right now. It's my favorite place. I always like to see my son coming home from kindergarten or Keith coming home from work.
This must be a great place then. Helena, you remind me of a friend of mine. She got along really well with her husband. So, when her husband left, she was very depressed. She told me that her son's support helped her get her back on her feet. She was a really good person. When I was introduced to her, she told me she was glad to have a daughter-in-law. But I didn't know much about becoming anyone's family. I thought, if my parents threw me away, how could I ever be a part of a stranger's family? And she noticed my worry, so she told me this. While I had an unhappy marriage, through it, I met my beloved son. but not everyone can have such happy meetings. So, if you're unsure, I won't mind if you run away. Ultimately, I let anxiety get the best of me and I ran. And by the time I resolved to come back, she was already gone. I still regret my cowardice, but I know it's too late. David seemed to think that you and Keith didn't get along, but I never thought that for a second. You were always so concerned for Keith, and Keith always sounded kind when he spoke to you. I knew you must have really valued each other. I thought I'd like to be like that myself, but it's not so easy. I still don't know how to go about it.
I'm sure you just need lots of wonderful memories. It's okay, Shirley. You two will be just fine.
Thanks. Why do the people so close to you always have to go so soon?
Helena, sorry, I was cleaning the living room and I broke something.
Hold on, what did you break?
A glass cat?
You broke a Swarovski ornament! What are you doing?
That's why I said I should clean the storeroom. You know I'm clumsy.
There's even more stuff in there! That would be a disaster!
Say what?
You two are just too adorable. There's nothing to worry about, Shirley. You're a wonderful pair. I know you'll get on fine. I don't want any more bad dreams. I'm exhausted. I just want to have happy dreams.
Helena!
No, please!
Helena.
At last, I finally got a hold of you. Oh dear, hurt all over. But what else could I do? You just wouldn't stop running, miss, no matter how much I hurt you. But well, our game of tag's come to a close now. Yes, you can't outrun the scary, scary boogeyman. Are you relieved it's over, or are you still scared? Well, madam, do you want to run?
You're an unbelievable idiot.
Say again.
I called you an idiot. You thought I was running because I was scared? You think I'm scared of you? Maybe you've spent too long in your little closet world to understand. You've convinced yourself that women and children are all scared of you. What were you planning once you caught me? Kill me? And then what? You'd go to kill Keith, right? You told me you had Keith in your hands. Whether he'd live or die was up to me. I guess that was true. And all this time you've been foolishly chasing after me. You could never kill him. I'm weak. I can't be as strong as Keith is. But there is something I can do, in all my weakness. If I can keep your attention away from Keith by running all the time, I'll run to the ends of the earth. You poor, stupid little boogeyman. You really are such a child. You just love bullying anyone weaker than you. Go ahead. Have fun in your little world. Call yourself a villain, a monster. But I'll never let you bring my husband into it. Don't you dare lay a hand on him!
You talk too much, madam.
That's terrible. Let's hurry and look for Helena. She must be nearby. Keith? Keith, what are you doing? We have to hurry. Keith, are you listening? Hey, what are you staring at? Are you asleep? Get a grip! Come on!
I'm awake. David, you look for Helena. She should be near.
Huh? What about you? What are you gonna do?
I'm going to go kill a monster.
Wait, Dad? Leave the door open and don't turn out the lights in the hall.
Why?
The boogeyman will come.
What kind of guy is this boogeyman?
He has long nails and kidnaps kids. He lives in the closet.
A kidnapper? Well, can't leave a guy like that on the loose. Alright, Dad'll give him a good beating. Hey, Boogie, you in there? What? Hey, let go.
Dad? Dad?
Whew, he was a little tough, but I got him good. No worries, son. Old Boogie won't come for you anymore.
Really?
Would I lie? Me and Mom are in the bedroom right there, you know. You still scared? Oh, need your stuffed bunny, do you? Or should I read you a bedtime story? Maybe the ones with the fairies.
No way. I'm not a wuss, Dad. I can sleep by myself.
That's the spirit. Listen, Todd. If the boogeyman comes to get you again, Dad'll beat him up. I'm not gonna let anyone mess with you or Mom.
'Cause you're a police officer?
'Cause I'm Dad. Good night, son. Should I leave the light on?
It's okay. I've got you and Mom.
Good night. I love you.
Don't blame it on the sunshine. Don't blame it on the moonlight. Don't blame it on the good times. Blame it on the boogie.
Have you ever thought about it, detective? Thought you have an enemy? Who or what it is, you don't even know. Maybe it doesn't even exist. Maybe it's all in your head. But you know there's something tormenting you, always making it so painful. You feel like the whole world's out to make you suffer. Too troublesome to make an enemy of the whole world, right? So just making one enemy will do. I chose you as my enemy. Have I become yours? Oh well, either way, we're gonna settle this right here. Let's end this wonderful game now. Can you beat this final boss and take back your beloved wife? What's so funny?
Boy, you're really having a blast, huh? What's so funny that you can be all smiles all the time? Total opposite of me. I don't remember the last time I laughed. But I guess we were pretty similar after all. In a sense, it was all a lie. You're always grinning ear to ear, but you're scared, aren't you? So you keep running. You can't go head to head with me. You and me are just acting. You're no scary monster, and I'm no paragon of justice. Final boss? Ha! A big baddie should be a pretty sly guy, shouldn't they? But taking hostages, always on the run, the only thing you can chase after is girls' rumps. You know, I wasn't planning to do anything with you. As long as the others were safe, I was fine leaving you be. I'd secure your hostages and scram, then just leave you to the local police. Because I'm not chasing you. You just keep running from me. What I'm really chasing after. Sorry, but it ain't you. That's right. It's not you. You're my enemy. Spare me the sleep talk. Why would I make my enemy a dunce who just sneaks away? A coward who hides in the closet and threatens kids? And your enemy? Not me either. You've got a lot more enemies. If you go to the slammer, you're gonna be a real popular guy. I can tell. But this is a great chance. No hostages to get in the way. No one watching. So I can do whatever I like with you. Detective, criminal, that doesn't matter now. You've done the number one thing to get on my bad side. You chased after my wife's rump. That alone is enough reason for me to beat you down. Don't you think, Boogie? Can't afford to laugh anymore, can you? Back to your closet, Boogeyman. You don't have what it takes to make it over here. Oh, and none of your jokes were funny. Come on, I thought you were tougher than that. Huh, I thought you were supposed to be scary.
Where do you think you're going, Lance?
I'm gonna find them. They've been gone way too long.
Did you forget what he said? It'll be a burden on him to move around on our own.
Well, then after all's said and done, we'll tell him we did just what he said. Of course, you might have all gone stone cold by that time.
Don't joke about things like that.
Sounds like a joke to you? We got 2, maybe 3 corpses around here?
What part of don't you get?
Stop, you two. Don't fight.
We'll go search together. I'll lead the way. Sophie and Shirley, you hold hands. And Lance, you watch the rear.
Papa.
You really want to go?
Yes, we'll be all right together. And there's something I'm curious about.
What's that?
This whole incident may just be a great big farce.
What do you mean?
Let's be going.
Helena, where are you? Helena? Helena!
David!
Are you okay?
That man knocked me out. I woke up here. I was unconscious the whole time. Keith!
Helena!
Keith! Where are you?
Always on the run, huh? But marijuana addicts can move better than you. What's in that big head of yours? Brendan?
You lose. Detective.
You're Brendan? Why? Stop moving around.
Keith, Helena.
We have to stop the bleeding. Lance!
Richard, help me out.
Sophie, find something to tie him with.
Keith!
Got you.
Keith? You...
Helena, when we get home, let's finish our conversation. No more running.
No! Keith, stay with me, please!
The servants and Stevie. 10 people died all told. I'm sure glad to be alive now. Feeling glad to even have air to breathe.
Listen, don't you say a word about all this, especially not to your coworkers. If it takes money to shut your yap, I'll pay any price.
Oh, bribery. Where's that money coming from?
My own pockets. Listen, you guys can distort the truth all you want, and I won't say a peep. 'cause that's freedom of the press. But this is different. I've got no tolerance for people pointing and laughing at a wounded friend.
Do I gotta tell you again? I'm not a gossip guy. I hate cops, sure, but I hate gossip too. I won't ask for money, and I won't say a peep, 'cause I'm grateful to the guy. So quit hounding me. But, as an involved party, I've got a right to know what happened there. I just can't wrap my head around it. I talked to Brendan at dinner. Heard he got tired of the musty old castle and ran to Hollywood. Had a lot of fun in the movie biz. So what was the motive?
Guy's gone silent. Sounds like he convinced you he was a goody two-shoes. But I bet you heard a different story in Hollywood. Now that's the kind of thing your lot should be writing about. Nobody knows people's past, usually. But it's easy to fool you into thinking otherwise with a little acting. And once you know somebody's past, you can lead them by the nose. He tricked you all, and tried to kill you. What a farce. Not sure of the motive yet, but he was pretty systematic about it all. Spent a ton of cash beforehand to check up on all the tour attendees. Even did a background check on me.
On you? Why?
'Cause I was going to be on that tour.
No wonder I thought he knew me. The hell, so he just researched us?
That's the oldest trick in the book for us, saying, I know all about you. It makes you superior to the other person, so you can control them. Then they freak out and have to submit. He knew that tactic well. Seeing right through people without any tricks. That's what makes a real monster, ain't it? In his case, he just used money and connections to dig up people's past, and played the part of a monster.
But the research wasn't to select candidates, so he just picked randomly. Oh, damn, was he just in it for fun?
Now, my turn to ask questions. What you tell me is the only way I can figure out this incident. Give me anything you got. First, Brendan, or Boogie rather. What kind of man was he?
How should I say it? I suppose he had no emotion. That's how I saw him. He said such terrifying things without a care. He hardly showed any human feelings. He really was like a monster.
Keith told me he was a real jester.
Jester? Absolutely not. I would have much preferred if he were at least a little silly. He was a very disturbing, terrifying man. He was totally calm as he did awful things.
Richard, you seem to have a suspicion he might be Brendan. Why do you think that?
When my daughter went missing, and I panicked thinking that man might have taken her, Keith told me something. This was the kind of person who would show corpses as decoration. So if he did take Sophie, he'd show off proof of it, meaning she was still safe. Luckily enough, I didn't see them, but indeed, evidently, there were many dead bodies left around. As Keith said, my daughter hadn't fallen into his grasp. He was correct in his assumption. That made me realize something unusual about what he'd said. Keith said he saw the moment Brendan's neck snapped, and his corpse was quickly dropped into the basement. Isn't that odd? Why did he quickly put Brendan's corpse out of sight? Why did he treat him differently from the other victims?
'Cause he didn't want you investigating it. He's got some keen insight, I'll give him that. So you suspected this was a farce plotted by Brendan?
No, well, I suggested that since Keith hadn't checked the corpse, he might still be alive. I only wanted to believe there was a chance he was alive. I had no conviction about the rest. So I didn't speak about it to Keith. I wouldn't dare risk throwing him off with my amateur opinion. Not to mention we didn't know whether his wife was safe.
Apparently, Keith saw the moment Brendan's head came off, actually.
Was it a doll?
Right you are. Packed with neat little blood packs, it seems. Brendan was hung upside down and had his mouth taped up, and it was dark enough to be hard to tell who's who. Just dressing him up the same way made Keith assume it was him. On top of all those flashy rave lights, he dropped the corpse down below so it was impossible to check it closer. And since Keith saw the tour conductor killed right after that, of course, he'd think Brendan was killed too.
If I'd said something, maybe this could have been resolved sooner, but I was paralyzed with fear. I was only worried about my daughter, even when Keith was running all over the place for us.
Don't worry about it. Keith did all that 'cause he wanted to. That's all. He's deeply glad you're all safe. Now, little lady, can we hear from you too?
Hear what?
Anything. What you thought. What you noticed.
Well, I knew he was a fake. Because I've met the real boogeyman.
Sophie, stop it. Not this tale again.
Fine, if you say so, Papa. Guess I'm not saying a word.
Go ahead, please. Meeting the real boogeyman sounds pretty juicy. Can you tell me more?
Maybe not really met. He just touched my shoulder. But his hand was cold as ice. Right away, I knew it wasn't human. That guy's hands were human, though. They had warmth, so I knew he was just a regular guy.
Huh. So boogeyman's hands are cold, eh? Tell that to my little squirt. Anything else you noticed?
I feel like he might get angry if I say this.
I won't. Tell me.
That guy had this cold and emotionless air, like you couldn't tell what he was thinking at all. It reminded me of Mr. Keith, a little.
You still think that way now?
Not even, because Mr. Keith got really mad at me. He was like, "Don't worry your papa ever again."
Red paint? On his face? There was nothing like that. It was all red from blood spurts, though.
Really? Keith told me he had a weird paint on a torn paper bag. And one more thing. Did you see any red graffiti in the castle? Or any monsters? Hear any phones ringing?
No, I didn't.
Mr. Hoover, you're colorblind, if I recall. Maybe you just couldn't see the paint.
Yeah, but it's white and pink I get mixed up. I can see red just fine.
Well, and you, miss?
I saw quite a bit of the castle, but none of that. Did you hear that from the others?
Don't get me wrong. I don't think you're lying. The others said they saw nothing too. But then, that makes Keith the one talking nonsense.
I don't think Keith is necessarily lying.
What do you mean?
Because people don't always see the same things you do.
Thanks for the assistance, you two. Sorry about calling you in 2 weeks after the fact.
Is not everything settled yet?
The police there are in the middle of their investigation. My role is just to assist. I'm gonna report your testimonies to them, and that's that. I'll be off now. Eric, take them to the entrance.
When our son died, I thought my own life was over too. I couldn't think about anything. Nothing had any taste. But tears would suddenly come anyway. I don't remember anything about what I did back then. But I do remember one thing. That Keith was always at my side. When I wailed and shouted, he'd hug me, stroke my hair, say it was okay. Eventually, I adjusted to life without our son. I found I could laugh again. But when I got my own emotions back, I realized Keith had stopped laughing. I had been broken, and so had Keith. Over time, I was able to heal, but he didn't. He was still stuck in the moment of Todd's death. He was always supporting me, so he never faced up to himself. I struggled to be at least a little stronger. Next time, I would protect him, since I wanted him to laugh again. But I couldn't. I couldn't repay anything to Keith. And I realized I was a burden on him. that would keep him from ever walking again. So, even if we're far apart, as long as he can laugh again, then that's the best choice I can make.
My wife always brings me warm milk before I go to bed. And last Father's Day, my little squirt tried cooking me a meal. I definitely don't need milk to get to sleep. And the kids cooking, I'll be blunt, it ain't good. But I'm glad for it. Usefulness and collateral don't mean a thing with this stuff. Keith didn't stay close to you expecting something in return. That's just what he wanted to do. You guys have got too much sympathy. You don't mind getting hurt for the sake of the other. But can't you notice that one of you being hurt hurts the other? You've just been getting more and more wounded as you go along. You're propping Keith up too, Helena. He can fight day after day, because he knows you're waiting at home, as much as I tease him about it. Don't think of yourself as baggage. Depend on him as much as you need. That's what he wants too.
Keith grabbed my hand and smiled, even though he was stabbed and wounded.
And what'd he say?
Got you.
Because he finally got what makes him happiest. But, man, too much discrepancy between your guys' testimonies and Keith's. Just how am I going to report this to their department? Hey, Helena, he went back home from the hospital today, right? Can I come talk with him now?
I'm sorry. Before he goes back home, there's a place he's going to visit. And I'm planning to head there myself. Keith.
I've always wanted to cry like this. I never forgot about him. Not for a single day. Ever since he died, I was scared. I felt like even the slightest sign of weakness would make it all crumble. I acted like I felt nothing, like nothing disturbed me. I thought then I might be able to fool everyone, even myself. It was so stupid. I was broken a long time ago. It was all garbage, but I acted like a champion of justice. It always felt off. Whoever I was working for, I never felt repaid. And I saw you were safe, and you came up to me. Finally, I felt happy again. Acting strong just made me weak. It was pointless. Todd would never forgive his father staying broken forever, because I promised I'd protect his mom. I'll take off the blindfold. I'm gonna laugh, even if it's at a stupid TV show. If I'm pissed, I'll get mad. And if I'm sad, I'll cry. First, I guess there'll have to be counseling. There's something seriously wrong with my head, seems like. It's gonna be a busy time. It's gonna be so busy, I won't be able to do it alone. Helena, I don't think I can deal with just being a good loser. I want a chance. Let me chase after you. Let me get down on my knees. You're the only one I want waiting for me.
There's no need for a chance. Didn't I tell you? Divorce or decide. I've decided. Haven't you too? We only ever have one umbrella, so we hold it together. And it's fine if we get a little wet, because it'll soon be sunny again.